Hello Virgos, welcome to your wealth reading for November 2025, just kind of squeaking them in there. A couple days, I lost them to daily life, things happening, so I apologize, but we're here, we're connected, and we'll talk about anything wealth. So of course money, savings, investments, but career, but it's anything that makes you feel wealthy, prosperous, abundant in life. So we'll do the charms with the cards, and we'll see what your messages are. If you just like your messages, I timestamp so you can just skip ahead below. Otherwise, we'll start with the charms. Just letting them discard here. Let them choose the few that they want to bring. Okay, so let's go around the chart, see where the charms fall. Any initial impressions I get for you guys as I connect with your soul energies and what's been going on in terms of your wealth centers. Oh, my hand's bobbing up and down here. Oop. So we'll just wait, they're pulling something, okay. Some more movement here in the corner. I'm trying to do my best to get it all on camera. Sorry, I am trying to not sniffle so much on camera. Catch myself. Looks like you're hanging out in the bottom of the chart here. Okay. Oh, okay, I took it away, but I thought it was wrong and they wanted me to put it back. Okay. So we'll get the cards for you. We'll see how any charms, if any, are connected. Could be all five here. Separate, we'll see. I have to move that elephant out of the way. It's just so you have something other than a blank white wall to look at. That was interesting. Kind of swooped it down over here to the carrier bike. Almost felt like a bit of a U-turn, right? Nope. So maybe you need to make a bit of a U-turn here. Maybe you have. Maybe you've made a U-turn in your career or something. Yeah, a little charm after that. So maybe a little recognition on that, or the time to do so. Just gonna take the timestamp quickly here, and then we'll get into it. Get into your readings. What's up with Virgo? Where am I starting? Maybe with this loss. Getting the charms, this drew my attention. So a big loss with the deep angelic hue. So that's when the angels are kind of surrounding you, washing you over with their angelic love and light and hue. And they're giving you their dove, the arms, the wings wide open. So a little bit of a call to you to have some trust, some self-belief. So big loss. This could be a big financial loss. We're doing a wealth reading. This could be debt just accruing and you're feeling swallowed up by it. This could be loss of career that you suffered, or a loss of opportunity. So maybe you applied for something and another candidate got that opportunity, but there's a call here for you to trust in self, hang on to your belief, your confidence. Let's see. Well, talk about that U-turn, right? It does look like somebody or a company potentially has decided to go a different route, right? They often say that in their messages. We've decided to go in a different way. They're drawing me here to the crescent moon, and the decision. And this is a receptacle to receive. So I feel like there's like focus less on this missed opportunity, on this door that closed, on this, maybe gaslighting, delay after delay after delay. You're not really getting anywhere. But there's a decision to be made here that will start to refill your good fortune. But it requires you to walk away from this, for you to realize that you're going to get, you're getting nowhere. And I don't feel like this is the first time. I feel like this would be, either the same individual or company doing this to you often, like a reoccurrence, kind of leading you on, right, with the breadcrumbs, as we call them. Or this has happened to you a few times throughout the years, because it feels like you kind of feel, just my luck. This always happens to me. That's why the angels are coming down with the dove here. It's not you, right? It's not you, it's them kind of message. Hang on to your hope, your trust, your confidence. There's something better meant for you. You just need to look in a different direction. I'm going to come here. This feels a bit paired because it's angels with the dove, and then angels with the message tile. So what your angels want you to know. And the orange hue is all about, the strength of your intellect, your creativity, your creative spark that you have, your source of inspiration, motivation, desires, what encourages you to embrace a challenge, etc. And they're providing you I call it a prism charm, but it's like endless opportunities. It's endless ways to achieve the same goal. All paths come to the same point, no matter where you're at. So no matter where you're at right now in your wealth story, you know the answer. You're able to approach this 101 different ways, right, to get to your goal. Endless routes, endless possibilities. And we have the world. I want to say the same, like sitting on top of your world, perched on your mountain, kind of feeling here. Your two little companions feel very relaxed. They're watching, but they're much more at ease, they're much more relaxed. You're celebrating. And look how you're looking away from this scenario, right? You're much more at ease. You're thinking of yourself and not a situation that's out of your control. And you're moving yourself forward. Almost feels like the world here underneath is kind of moving like a treadmill, right? They're moving forward, so they're creating the momentum. So this is definitely you solving your situation. They're drawing me down to the fact that it kind of looks like you're crossing a bit of a waterway, from one territory to another. So that could be what you need to do, right? You need a change in department, change in company, change in environment, at least. Change in community, maybe. Maybe this is going from working from home, going back into a more social atmosphere. But there's movement forward here for you. Not much of an answer, because the angels are saying and I'm saying and the card's saying So, you already know the answer. I don't have to give you an answer on how to do it. You probably already feel it, especially with the emotional wrap here. So in your head and heart are already in alignment. You already feel, you already know that this energy, it's time for me to move my energy forward and elsewhere, carry myself forward elsewhere. Maybe I'll just keep coming around this way now. Something worth considering, and there's good favor. the green. So talk about a wealthy reading. We've got some good favor. We have a courier. This is incoming news or an incoming package to you in terms of, forms, a report, paperwork to sign, to receive. So that could be a contract, an agreement. So you got a bit of a news or a package incoming that obviously you need to consider, right? So this could be, if it's news, it's something someone says to you, maybe about an opportunity or a suggestion of how to approach the situation. But you take the time to just kind of think it through. If it is the package, it's, make sure you read every page, every line. And we have the Hierophant card paired with that. I always love this card because it always tells me you got something in your pocket. You got that ace in your pocket. You got the power in your pocket, and you intuitively know this. So when this news comes in, when this offer comes in, when this package comes in, you're holding the power. Make sure you understand that. Don't be influenced, right? Because we have a sort of the royalty here. Don't be influenced to join someone, to only do it their way, because it's coming right after your creative energy. They're saying to me no strings attached, because I was looking at the doll again, and it's not a puppet, right? There's no strings attached. So there's no strings attached to this contact who might have the door to open. There's no strings attached in the contract. Obviously contracts is a string that attaches to you, but they just keep reinforcing your power. So make sure, the terms are yours, right? You're in the control again. So control and control. Maybe you're the ace in their pocket, which means you have the power, right? They don't want to let you go. While that energy might feel that way, the truth is, you have more authority in this situation, more control over the situation that maybe you think right now. Okay, so these two definitely feel paired, not just because the cards were paired, but just the way the energy is here about the past and a new source. So past influencing present and maybe somewhat blocking you from this new source. So the fact that it's under the self-belief, self-trust, this could be doubt, because it's emotional. So past issues could be doubt, could be a scenario that triggers you, right? We've all lived experiences that we don't, again, in workplaces, or deals that have gone sour because we're in wealth, an investment plan that didn't turn the results, didn't pay out the dividends. So the past issues here, it's my tree, but this one feels like a set of lungs. So sort of the tree of life, maybe they're trying to show me here. So breath of life, like just breathe. So the past issues definitely feel traumatic to you. So again, I feel triggered, like an anxiety attack, right? Because they're focusing on my breath. So they want me to calm my breathing down. They want me to have steady breathing. And then they're pairing this with the circus tent, which has its curtain, right? They're pulling back the curtains, follow a path to a new source of income. This kind of feels like the Fool card, the way they're using my circus tent this time, because it feels like you, as a Virgo, would be thinking this is a risky move. That's too crazy. Remember the last time? It didn't pay out. Like, I got nowhere. This is trying leaving a company, trying a new one, or trying to strike it out on your own and maybe faltering a little bit in those first few months or years, and you're like, nah, this is too risky again. But there's like this call for you to do something that feels a little wild, a little bit more playful. It's going to bring you a lot more joy. It definitely connects into your interests. It's going to feel less like work and more like play or entertainment. Like you'll have a good time versus high stress, high anxiety. So you're kind of alleviating that here. See how you have to jump over this tile? So it is this like leap forward. It is this risk you're taking. There's like a youthful diving in. Like, go ahead. We realize you tried before, but if you just breathe through it, you know, you'll be quite successful. I could even read this as like a castle with its turrets and its flags and sort of the welcome home party. So there's some very positive, fortunate energy connected to this. Okay. While here with the Ace of Wands, the sort of Mother Earth energy, Mother even could be a butterfly, so it's sort of the transformation there with the moth butterfly-like wings behind her, and with you coming out of your pea pod, your cocoon. So maybe you attempted this change before, like I said, maybe you tried to take on a certain title or role before, and you felt like it didn't work out for you, or you were offered a role, and I'm saying this because they're pulling me back up here, where you were offered a role, you followed up on when you were starting, and all of a sudden you get the, oh, we decided to go in a different direction, the company's not making that role anymore, blah, 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 right? So you didn't quite get to fully evolve into that next status, that next level, that next challenge. But then here you are as the Queen of Pentacles, which is nice to see on a wealth reading. Almost has that circus tent kind of energy in her wardrobe here, sort of the really large skirt, the way the veils are kind of coming off her. She has a top hat, you know, magic, holding the pentagram there. And then you have all these people around her, right? I do feel like this risk is either a status change or it could be a shift, similar to what I did, which was to like completely leave an industry and go into another. We all have transferable skills, as they like to say, but you know, there's your heightened intelligence, right? Your strategy, your creativity, the orange flame, the crown on your head. You have the ability, sort of this message here, you have this ability. So don't let a past issue or a reoccurrence, this could be that reoccurrence, hold you back and transform you into this next iteration of you, this next level, title. Don't be afraid to try that risk again, because you're holding the magic this time. There's a lot of you in control. You're in control of your transformation. You're in control of manifestation. You're in control of this decision. You're in control of where you're going. You just need to regain or rebuild or build up your self-belief and trust in your abilities, trust in self to achieve. So, Mother Nature with the Tree of Life, right? Just breathe. We realize you're going through something or you've been through, right? Transformation is not easy. Giving birth to a new idea, stepping into a new role, it's not easy, but we just breathe through it. Because there's, you know, sort of that light at the end of the tunnel feeling here. This definitely feels like a much better place, better people, feels like your community. Like you're going to find your, I don't want to say spot or groove, but I feel like take the bet on self, right? Look at a different route. Look for this green flag, this opportunity that's going to knock and open the door, and leap for it. Go for it. You will be successful.